Hi everybody and welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. Happy to have you joining us, and joining us is the track coach at CHS, Mr. Jeff Cooley. Jeff, welcome to tonight's show.
Well, thank you, Fran. I appreciate that.
We're going to talk to you about track in a few minutes, but we want to talk about the Spartans a little bit. Sam, was raining threes Saturday at Spartan Bowl. It's a good thing, too, because the inside shots were not dropping. So
they were not, but Centerville did a good job in the first quarter, and Tyler Billups, Little Bill, coach calls him, stepped up and knocked down five three-pointers.
Five three-pointers.
And all his 15 points came on those five, but that certainly opened up the game. And some other guys stepped up, contributed. Chandler Graves came out and hit a big three, which, you know, he doesn't shoot a lot, but when he does, he's usually pretty accurate. And Bo Isaacs, he was knocking down the threes too, and you know, just throw in the other two starters, Silcott and Smith. They also played very well and were able to score some points.
There were 12 threes, so 36 points in threes, not too bad.
Not too bad, I think.
Jeff, did you see the game?
No, I did not get to see that game. I was up at the swim sectional.
Oh, okay. Let's talk a little bit about that. Reese did pretty well. Miss Drew.
Yeah,
she advances.
She does. She gets
to go
to the state meet. She gets to go to the semi or to the state meet.
Oh, okay, the state, and Friday night are the preliminaries.
I believe so. Yeah.
And then Saturday will be the finals, and that's at the IUPUI natatorium.
Yeah, at the natatorium. Yep.
Okay, she one of the seniors on the swim team, and
she is the senior.
The senior.
Yes.
Wow. Well, that's great for her. And I know Daryl and Kelly are very proud of her, and we wish her the best come Friday night.
Yeah, hope she does well.
Hope so.
Follow in her big sister's footsteps, or fins, or whatever you might want to call it. But yeah, I know they're very proud. When I go get my teeth cleaned, I get a full report, and I enjoy hearing about it.
We had another athlete that did pretty well, a wrestler. Over the weekend at the regional at Richmond, Brady Gosnell, and he advances to the semi-state at Newcastle.
Very good.
In the 138-pound weight class, so we wish, he's a junior, we wish him the best of luck. So we've had a pretty successful weekend. The Spartans won. We had a swim and a wrestler, so things are looking pretty good.
Yeah. That's what we like.
Right.
On the upswing.
Spartans have a couple of games this week. East Central on Thursday, New Palestine on Saturday.
Two big games, the most important of the two, coming up Thursday night as we travel down to St. Leon to take on the East Central Trojans. Never an easy place to play. Very well coached. I know that Jeff, back when you were coaching, you're very familiar too with Coach Disbrow, and he does a fine job down there. And but certainly a winnable game for the Spartans, and a game that if we do win, keeps us perfect in the conference. We'd be 5-0 then, and that's very important. East Central, I believe, is 2-1. They still have most of their conference games yet to play, but we have 3 left to play.
They're 8-8 on the season. Overall, 50.7 is their offensive average, and they've been giving up an average of 54.1 point a game. So, as you say, they're beatable. They're not having a season that they have had in past seasons. New Palestine, we go there Saturday, 4-13 for the Dragons. That surprises me.
That surprises me too. You know, they have great success the last several years with their football team.
Yes.
And state champions. And many times that carries over into the other sports, but not so this year. But having said that, we still have to go there and play on their floor.
Right.
I think that's been a great addition to our schedule, both boys and girls basketball. And they're very hospitable over there, at least for the media. When we show up, they have packets for us, and they will have our logo printed on top of the packets, and so they do a first-class job.
It's nice to go to a friendly place.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, some aren't not always friendly.
Not always, but they act like they're genuinely pleased to play us.
Good.
So, I think it is a good addition, and it's why we only started playing them in the last few years when, you know, they're 45 miles away. I'm glad that we were able to add them to the schedule.
Well, we wish the Spartans the best of luck because we have 5 games remaining, and after this week there will be 3 on the schedule, so it's winding down.
Goes too fast. And
Yes. Yes.
yeah, the sectional draw will be coming up, and sectional at Newcastle, probably one of the toughest in the state in 4A. And I think this year probably the most balanced that it's been in a long time, that anybody could come out of that.
Okay, let's go back to Saturday's game in Centerville. We have a clip that's from TV3's coverage, so let's see that right now. Centerville and the Spartans.
There's Chandler Graves knocking down that 3, and
Yeah,
as I
number
mentioned
11.
earlier, he's one that doesn't shoot often, but when he does, he's pretty accurate, and any points you get from him, I think, is a bonus.
Absolutely, his job really is to make things happen and not score, and as one of the point guards. So, but it was good to see him, and we were really lucky on our threes because the inside shots just weren't going. Jeff, you're a old basketball coach. Tell us why inside shot, well, the high percentage shots are so tough.
Well, Fran, I may still be coaching if I knew the answer.
Okay.
They're high school kids, Fran. That's what I always used to say.
Right.
But you see it in college too. There's Bo Isaacs again. He had a big day on Saturday afternoon and a rare matinee performance for the Spartans. But he's able to stroke it, and he is one guy that can play inside or out.
Yes, absolutely. He takes up a lot of room under the basket when he's under there, and a great rebounder, great leaper.
Yes, he is. There you see another 3, and from Little Bill knocking him down.
Yeah, but hadn't been for the threes, that would have been could have been a different outcome.
Yeah, it could, and many nights it can be a worry because if they don't go in, you're in trouble, and that's what we had seen the week before. But it seemed like Spartans got their stroke back.
Yeah, it was a good game to watch after the first, as we talked about. They were down 3 points at the end of the first period, but took control in the second quarter, controlled the game from then on.
In Centerville, a better team, I think, than their record indicates.
Oh, they look much better than a 3-12 team. I mean, they.
Well, new coach, learning a new system, and
Sure.
I think they will do well in the future.
I'm sure they will. They look like a good team, well-coached team to me, and they've had some close games, so their record could be much better than what it is right now.
I think, Fran, with the transfer rules being much easier than they used to be, you're seeing a lot of Richmond kids playing at Centerville, at Seton Catholic, and at Northeastern.
Yes.
That normally would be part of the Red Devils, and
Yes.
I think that's part of why the Red Devils are down a little bit this year.
Could very well be why they're struggling. Yes, Richmond area teams are 8 and 11 right now. So they, as you say, they've lost some players to nearby schools.
Garrett coming in and laying one in, so a good day all in all at Spartan Bowl.
Absolutely, and that game will be in its entirety on TV3 this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 8 o'clock. Track coach, it's winter, but you're going to track anyway, right?
It is, that's true. We're going to start February 16th.
Gee.
Yeah, we plan on going outside and going, weather permitting. Hopefully it'll be decent enough weather. Indiana weather, who knows?
Oh, sure, Jeff. Right. We have no control over that, of course. What's your team made up of this year? You have many seniors?
Well,
or?
You know, it's interesting. This is my first year as one of the head coaches. Kelly House and I are co-coaching, we're co-head coaches. And we had a call-out meeting. There are 109 kids came.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So if all those athletes stay, we'll be in good shape.
Oh, yes.
So I really don't know what the makeup of my team is quite yet.
Okay.
But we certainly have enough numbers.
What's the training regimen for these youngsters?
Well, it's specific to the event they're going to do. Distance runners do more of an endurance type training. Sprinters, of course, do more fast things. And then, our throwers do a lot of weightlifting, a lot of plyometric stuff. So it's training is specific to what event you're going to do.
Okay, okay.
You're a runner yourself, so you lead by example for some of those
Well, no,
some of those young folks.
Yeah, well, yeah, not really, because I've been the sprint coach for 20 years. Now you've known me for those 20 years. I'm not fast, Sam. Okay,
But you're steady.
I'm steady. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I do run on my own, and but I don't coach the distance itself. I've done the sprinters for 20 years now.
Gee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long time.
So you had track meets with the conference schools?
We do. As a matter of fact, our first indoor meet is at East Central on March 5th, and it's more or less an indoor EIAC meet. Everybody's there, Rushville, Franklin County, all the EIAC schools, and we do an indoor meet. Now, it's not an official a conference meet or anything, but it's a qualifier for the Hoosier State Indoors. There's an indoor season and actually an indoor state meet that you can qualify for, and that's one of the ones that allow you to qualify for that state meet.
I didn't realize that. What?
Yeah, it's called the Hoosier State Relays. It's a 2-week window, and there are all across the state. There are indoor track meets. We go to one at East Central, and then we go to one at Anderson University on March 12th. The top 24 kids in an event qualify for the Hoosier State Relay Finals, which I believe this year's at Purdue. So in years past, they had qualifying standards, times, or distances you had to make. Recently, about 2, maybe 3 years ago, they have now the top 24 in an event. So to qualify and make it onto the state is a pretty daunting task.
I would think so. It sounds like it would be, right?
East Central was a very nice facility down there for
It absolutely.
probably the best in the conference.
Yes. Well, Greensburg has a nice field house too. We've never actually run indoor at Greensburg, but one thing I have heard about Lawrenceburg, though, they just got a new addition. I'm not sure if they have a track or not, but that'd be nice to go down there and check out. Yeah. I'd like to have that.
Yeah, they have a little bit of extra money coming in Lawrenceburg.
They do. That's true. That's very true. But yeah, East Central does have a nice facility. You can pole vault in there. They have a long jump pit. You can throw the shot put. No discus, of course. It's a 145-meter track, which is a little bit awkward for an indoor track, but it's a nice facility.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So when you move, then you move outdoors and have meets in the evening?
Yeah, we'll move after the 12th, our last indoor meet. We'll train till, I believe our Centerville meets April 7th. So we'll train until we have an outdoor meet on April 7th with Centerville.
And our track surrounds a football field?
Yeah, it's down at the, yeah, it does. It surrounds the football field. We use the locker rooms just like the football teams. And we train down there, and we have our meets down there. And it's a pretty nice facility, really.
How long is the track?
400 meters. One lap is 400 meters.
And that is in miles?
That's a quarter of a mile.
Okay, thanks.
It's a quarter of a mile. 4 laps for a mile.
Okay, thanks.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We won't talk about metrics and yard conversion.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah.
No, Sam may know that stuff. But
25.4 millimeters per inch.
Okay.
Oh, right, there you go.
That's about as much metric as I know.
Okay.
Don't we hold a sectional here? Or,
We do. We have both the girls and the boys sectionals.
Okay.
And we have the regional. The boys regional, teams from Warren Central, where else? Franklin Central, some of the bigger Southside Indy schools come here.
Okay.
Columbus North, Columbus East, they come here for the regional. If you don't know anything about track, or if you would just want to see a good meet, that's a very good meet to come to. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of good athletes, a lot of good times and distances, and that is, I think it's the second or third week in May. So.
Okay. Sounds interesting. And your season runs from
Well, our season runs from, well, actually, we start February 16th,
Mid-February
and we run till, well, the sectional is May 15th and 17th, I think. Then the next week will be the regionals, and then if you're lucky enough, June, first weekend in June is the state meet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do they have the state meet?
State meets at IU. Yeah,
Bloomington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Down in God's country.
I was leading you into that.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, it's been down there for a few years now. They used to hold it at IUPUI, and I believe they moved it down there for some anniversary. So they moved it to Bloomington and just stayed. It's been down there, I don't know, 4 or 5 years probably now.
If once your outdoor season gets going, people can come out and watch.
Absolutely.
Is there an admission cost, or your all sport ticket gets
Your
you?
all sport ticket gets you in, absolutely. I believe it's about $3 to come and see it. Track meet lasts 2.5 hours. Always something happening.
A lot of
stuff
variety
going on.
of
A lot of
different-
variety. Long distance races. We go from 2 miles down to short 100-meter sprints. If you like jumping and throwing, we have shot and disc and long jump and high jump and pole vault. Pole vault's an interesting
Oh, it's very
event.
interesting, yes.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think I encourage anybody to come out and watch it. I
Well,
think
are these co-ed meets?
these are co-ed meets.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have co-ed. Now, sometimes we have just girls and just boys.
Okay.
For example, we go to an invitational at Newcastle that is just boys. And we go to an invitational at Muncie Central that's just girls. But for the most part, it's co-ed.
Okay. Do these youngsters that take part in track, are they cross-country people in the fall then, or?
Well, yes and no. The cross-country kids in the fall generally are your distance runners on the track. Now, people who do the 100, the 200, the sprint stuff, they're not your cross-country runners.
Okay.
Those kind of athletes are typically your running back, your wide receiver.
Oh.
Yeah, they're those type of athletes
okay.
with fast twitch muscles. Yeah, those are the kind of guys that don't want to do the long distance. Believe me.
Have you coached any youngsters that have done well in college, or?
We've had several people
Have we?
go. Yeah, we have. We have some distance runners right now in college. Some of the girls from last year. Sarah Rep is running in college. Courtney Phillips was running college. Morgan Hamilton's running college. And over the years, we've had quite a few kids go on to run in college.
That's good. That's good to know. Yeah, yeah. Sam, you want to go out for the track team?
Well, you
Would
know,
you be a distance
when I was,
man, Sam?
Well, when I was in the Army, we had to run 2 miles in a
Yeah.
certain amount of time, and I never really liked it. I could do it, but I never really liked it.
I won't ask you to do it in boots like they did.
Well,
Sam.
we did it. We did it in boots,
But I
and later
thought
they
so.
let us switch to running
To
shoes.
running shoes,
Yeah,
I see.
By the time I retired, but yeah, we used to run in combat boots
Wow.
and long pants. Oh, and still had to do 2 miles in 17 minutes or something. Which
Wow, that's hard to do in boots.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, what's your experience? When did you start your coaching career, CHS?
I start at CHS. I actually started at the middle school.
Okay.
I was the track coach there I started in '93, I believe, and then 5 years there, and then the rest from then on at the high school. So about 22. This might be my 23rd year.
What other coaches, or what other have you coached? What other sports?
Oh, I was the girls and boys soccer coach for a long time. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
a freshman JV basketball coach for a long time. Yeah, I've done several other things.
Okay.
And you played sports when you were at CHS too. What sports did you play?
I did. I played basketball, football, and golf. Yeah.
And you were part of a championship team?
No, I was actually a freshman in '83, so I
freshman.
missed it
Oh, you
for
just missed it.
I just missed it.
But you were part of the excitement.
I was. Those were exciting times. Absolutely.
Cool.
Sam, I know the girls closed their season. I know there's some senior girls that we'd like to talk a little bit about the girls basketball.
Yes.
They played hard.
They did. They played hard, and I know they were disappointed
Yes.
with the results this year, but they never gave up. Amanda Cobb, Ashley Coker, and Kelsey Barrett. And, hats off to those girls that gave it their all.
Yes.
And we talked about it before, that they start out in middle school, and there may be 50 of them that in the 2 grades at middle school, but when it comes down to the end of their career and there are only 3 left, it's taken a lot of perseverance.
Yes,
and
it has.
a lot of hard work.
Yes, it has.
All 3 of them, I think, good kids, that good role models for the younger kids that are there. They weren't able to pull one out. We were looking for the upset last week on Tuesday night at Mount Vernon. The host team, a very good team. They have the Shelton girl, who is a Division I player. She's going to Butler to play. We had, for a while, one of our freshmen on her, that Marley Smith, that guarded her and I thought held her own. So to me, that makes me think that the future is bright. I understand Greenfield Central ended up winning that girls sectional on Saturday night over the host team, Mount Vernon. So Greenfield, pretty good team, coached by Doug Laker. He's former assistant coach to Kerry Brown when they were at Rushville. And Doug, really a gentleman and someone I like to be around. And he does. I believe he's the assistant athletic director at Greenfield Central, as well as the girls' head basketball coach.
I brought the seniors for the wrestlers. We might talk a little bit about those guys, because they worked hard all along, and we had Mac Taylor, their coach, on earlier on our show, and those they're losing quite a few boys.
Oh yeah, they sure are. And when you look at all the seniors here in the program, the Spartan program that they have at the basketball games, they by far and away have the most seniors, and those seniors are Braden Parker, Joe Isaacs, Owen McClure, Colin Bunzendahl, Jacob Doherty, Ryan Simbach, John Spurlock, Seth Gossett, and Darius Ramos. Am I pronouncing that right? Do you know that name?
So.
Ramos?
Yeah, I know Darius.
Yeah. So congratulations to the seniors on the wrestling team, and wish them well in their future endeavors as they'll be graduating.
Right, as we
in a couple
mentioned,
months.
and Brady Gosnell is a junior, and he's advancing on. So I'm sure Coach Taylor is looking forward to next season, and he's going to have a reload season here with all those guys that are graduating.
Yeah, that's quite a few. I didn't count them all. Looks like about 8 of them at least. So
yes,
that's a lot of.
But
seniors,
we wanted to mention the youngsters that are ending their careers here, the girls, seniors, and the wrestlers. Of course, we still got this swimming team going, basketball team's going, gymnastics team is still going. So, but those we did want to mention a little bit, because being an athlete's not easy. I mean, keeping up with school, with your grades and everything, and you your hats off to the seniors and to their parents. I think parents make a lot of sacrifices, don't they, Jeff? Because
absolutely.
And when they're younger, before they can drive to practice or drive to an event, that you're right. The parents have to see that they get there.
And I imagine meal schedules are crazy because of practice sessions and when the games and meets and matches are held and everything.
But it's good. It's good training for college, for time management, managing their schedules, and even if they don't play sports in college, it still helps them manage their time if they've played sports in high school.
Yes, absolutely. Jeff, what's the outlook for your season? You have a lot of these 100 youngsters that came out.
We do.
Are many of them veterans from?
We have a good mix, I think. We have a good mix of veterans and some newcomers. You were talking about the seniors. I look at the 2 out of the 3 senior girls there are track members. Kelsey Barrett runs the hurdles. I look for her to have a really good year. And Amanda Cobb throws a disc for us. So, and I look for her to have a good year. So a lot of seniors and a lot of younger underclassmen. So yeah, we're excited about it.
What kind of a feeding program do you have? Middle school has?
Yeah, the middle school has a track team.
Okay.
Recently, we just hired some new middle school track coaches, and Coach House and I are trying to align what we do up at the high school with what they do at the middle school. So it's a good transition, and the kids down there know exactly what's expected and when they get up to the high school.
What kind of a schedule does the middle school?
They run a very compact schedule. They go from after spring break till April. Basically, the month of April is what they do. They cram about 2 or 3 meets in, just that tight little window. But it is good experience for them as far as knowing where to go, what to do when they get up to the high school.
Okay. Back to the Eastern Indiana Athletic Conference. Who looks tough to you?
East Central is always
Okay.
always good. I was talking. We went to a clinic a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to their sprint coach, and he says, "Yeah, we're pretty good." And I believe him. Yeah.
We're loaded. Huh?
Yeah, I believe him. So I would say they're probably the favorites. And Batesville always has a good team.
Do they?
Too. Yeah, they usually have a good team. So.
Okay. You guys want to talk about Peyton Manning?
A great
And what he did?
a great day.
I think only half of Carolina showed up, didn't they? I don't know.
I think so. But the defense
As
carried the day,
again,
but
proves
still
again.
it took Peyton being out there on the field too made all the difference. I think.
Proves again defense wins games.
Think if Peyton would have had the defense he has at Denver, if he'd had that in Indianapolis, there might have been 2 or 3 more
Yes.
Super Bowls,
Yes.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and we'll see if he retires. I'm sure the Colts will welcome all the fans back into the fold for the Colts if he ends up retiring.
I'd
from
like to
Denver.
see Peyton retire and get into the administrative part at the Colts. I think he'd be a perfect fit for Indianapolis.
General manager,
Yeah,
maybe,
general
yeah.
manager, because he's done so much for the state and for Indianapolis with the hospital and everything. And I think it'd be super if he'd come back to Indiana and have a role of that type for the game. But who knows? You never know.
You never know what'll
Never
happen.
know. Never know. Never know. Well, the track season is going to begin, and there's a lot of action, I think, in the spring. Jeff,
Yep. Absolutely.
tennis will be starting here.
Tennis, yeah,
New
pretty soon.
golf.
Golf pretty soon. Yeah, we have a lot of things for people to come out and watch.
So it should be a very entertaining year. We want to wish you the best of luck with
Thank you.
your group, and you and Kelly sort of
Yeah,
coach
we do.
Okay.
We just thought that would be the best thing for the team. So when we make decisions together, we do that type of thing.
When you guys make your final cut, I mean.
Well, we don't really cut.
Oh, okay.
We don't really cut. We take everybody, and the kids kind of place themselves. I mean, it's a lot different than, say, basketball, where you have to make a judgment. Well, in track, it's the stopwatch that tells you.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean, that takes really all the judgment out of you, because, if Sam's running his 2 mile in 17, like he said, and somebody is running in 15, well, sorry, Sam.
I'm done.
You're done, Sam.
Oh, we appreciate you stopping by and
thanks
taking
for
part,
having me.
and we hope that you guys set a lot of records this year.
Well, thanks. I do too.
Jeff Cooley's been our coach, everybody, here on this edition of the Spartan Sports Report. Thanks for joining us here on TV3.